Hello, YouTubers. Back with another DIY on 2015 Infiniti Q50. So, give you a briefing of what happened. So, about a month and a half ago, my wife came home. She said, "Babe, my wife, I'm sorry, my wife said that the stereo said off, audio off." And there was no way that she can get it cut back on. So I'm like, okay, weird. Tried to hold the, hold on. Try to hold the volume buttons. Nothing. Um, I tried everything. Looked on YouTube. Um, everything. I tried everything. And no luck at all. I was getting the beeping sound like that. I was getting the beeping sound, but nothing. Like right here, it would show nothing. It would show, you see right here, that a phone was connected and everything. But like when I would go to FM, it would not show none of this. Well, you know what? I take that back. It would show it, I believe, but wasn't getting any sound. So I was like, okay, maybe do it. Maybe it's just the speakers. So they had this thing where I'm not gonna actually do it, but it's quite simple. So basically, you go to menu and you go to settings. Once you go to settings, you get to this menu. You push the seek track, or seek whatever, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then you hold it, you put your finger right below this arrow and hold it for about, I don't know, 2 to 5 seconds, something like that. And then it goes into this menu where you can restore it. You can see it goes into a diagnostic mode. So I went to the diagnostic mode, and there was a green line, between the what was it, the head unit and the Bose, and the head unit and the speakers or whatever, the head unit and the XM radio. But there was a yellow line between the head unit and the DCU. So I was like, okay, DCU. Okay, maybe that's something that's behind this whole thing. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how much it's gonna cost. Went to Sewell, they wanted to charge like $1,500, whatever. So I got on a car forum for specifically for this car. Ironically, a Infiniti employee actually replied, and so come to find out, he stayed in the same area that I stayed in, and it was actually worked at the same Sewell Infiniti that I had been taking my car to. So he was like, hey, do this, do that. I was like, it basically didn't work. So I brought my car up there. He checked it out. He was like, hey, yeah, your DCU is dead. I was like, okay, so what is the DCU? He said, that's this right here. I never knew that this was the DCU. So that information right there could possibly help a lot of you people. This top one is not only the navigation, but it's the DCU. That is the DCU. So if you have DCU issues, then this is where you need to look at. So back to the diagnostic. I end up resetting it, thinking that it will reset everything. It will reset everything. Yeah, it reset everything. So when it finished resetting, the map wasn't on there. There was this big clock with no hands. It wasn't. Hold on. Let's go right here. This was not right here. All of this was probably just the phone information and settings. Those were the only three things that was there. The steering wheel controls was not working. The navigation thing, it still worked and everything. The drive mode was not working. So it reset that reset everything. So that, if you guys don't know what you're doing, don't do it. My advice is don't do it. If you're having, technical issues or whatever. So, let's just fast forward to when I took it to the technician. He was sitting in the seat. He asked me. He said, "Hey, did your wife or did y'all waste anything in here?" I was like, "No, not that I could think of." And so it didn't click until I got home that one day, me and my wife was out and had somebody slam on their brakes. We had a drink right here in the front cup holder. Unfortunately, it was open. Didn't have a lid on it. It was a styrofoam cup, and didn't have no lid on it. People in front of us slammed on their brakes. We slammed on our brakes. Thankfully, we didn't hit them, but the drink spilled over, and so when it spilled over, it kind of got my shorts wet and wasted down here in the passenger seat. A little bit got up on the windshield or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I don't think it got off in there. No. So when the Infiniti technician told me, hey, replace your DCU and replace your head unit, and you should be good. So he showed me how to replace it, which, you take the driver's side, this panel off, then you got this piece that goes across here that has 4 screws in it. You take that off, blah, 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 pull this down. You got screws right here. You got screws right here. Then you pop this whole panel out. Then you pop this whole panel out. You got screws that's holding this whole little unit up. Then you got screws that's holding the DCU, or also known as the navigation screen. Started taking it apart and seeing so many spots where liquid had wasted. And I started smelling it, and it smelled, because we were on our way to a party, and we're drinking, and I smelled the alcohol, like old, 2-3 week alcohol. And I was like, that must have been what caused the DCU to go out. Because when the my Sewell Infiniti guy connected to it, he tried to connect to it, and whatever, he had his computer and everything, and he said, I can't even connect to it. It won't even let me reconfigure anything. So he was like, yeah, just replace this and replace this. Just FYI, I found the DCU, or the navigation, on eBay for $50. And then there's actually the head unit. The head unit actually sits behind this screen. This screen is a flat, it's flat in the back. And then behind, that's how you're able to put a CD in it, because the head unit sits behind this. So you got this, and then there's the head unit with the navigation module, just all kinds of little boxes that sit behind this, that's, you know, kind of mounted all to one bracket. So I replaced that, and once I replaced that, it immediately started back working. So as you can hear, that works, and got the see, using the steering wheel, and everything. Oh, the drive mode, so you can see the drive mode now works. Eco mode. What else? Yeah, that's about it. So, you know, you got all your settings and whatnot. But yeah, I thought I felt it getting a little warm in here. So yeah, if you're having DCU issues, might not be so, you know, like my issues, which was caused by liquid getting, you know, and in the system and messing up the DCU. But if you're having DCU issues, because for the longest I was trying to figure out, what is the DCU? This is your DCU. That top screen, the navigation screen, is your DCU. So I hope this video helped you guys. I'm glad I was able to save $1,400, because Sewell wanted to charge me $1,500, including labor. This DCU, they said, was about $1,100 or $1,200 plus labor, would have been $1,500, a little over $1,500. And I found this and the head unit. When I say the head unit, I'm not talking about this screen. I'm talking about what sits behind this screen. I was able to find the DCU and the head unit for $95, literally, on eBay. And, you know, replaced it and saved me a ton of money. So hopefully that helped you guys out. And just a word of advice: do not drive in the front seat, in especially this car or any high technology car or whatever, with a drink in the front and slam on your brakes. So now I don't even like for anybody to ride up here with any drinks. Like, I don't even like any drinks in the car. But yeah, you know, this situation could have been worse. You know, could have just fried the whole car or whatever, but thank God, you know, it didn't. So yeah, if you guys got any questions, please feel free to ask. I will respond, you know, whenever I can. But I'll be glad to help. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you guys next time.